This happened to me last Tuesday, and I can't stop thinking about it. I'll start this story by saying I'm a 30-year-old female who lives with my fiancé and our 2 dogs. I have 2 huskies. One is 2 and one is 4 months old. My huskies are not guard dogs. In fact, they're quite the opposite. They don't bark, nor do they howl. These dogs just love people so much. My brother-in-law and friends have walked in on multiple occasions, and the dogs don't make a peep. But anyway, it was 8 PM. It was dark out. I was home alone. Fiancé had a hockey game. I was in the bathroom with the door closed, blow-drying my hair, so I couldn't really hear anything going on around me. That is, until I heard one of the dogs howl. I stopped the blow-dryer and listened, thinking that the dogs were fighting again. Then I heard a faint knock, and the dogs started going crazy. Barking, howling, jumping into the bay window, so hard I thought they would break it. I was thinking, what the hell was making them go crazy like that? Maybe a dog or a skunk. I looked out of my bedroom window, as it was the closest view to the front door for me. I saw 2 men, in their 20s or 30s, with hoodies, standing at the front door. They started knocking louder, and this time, my 2-year-old husky jumped from the bay window to the front door and started growling and ramming his body into the door. I was watching this from my bedroom. As the dog jumped into the door, one of the men jumped back, startled, looked at the other guy, and they just walked away. I called my fiancé, asking him to get home as soon as possible. I watched them walk away, and then down the road. They definitely weren't selling anything, as they didn't stop at any other houses. It was the middle of summer, and my parents had left for the weekend to go to our house in Cape Cod. It's about a 2-hour drive away, so it was no big deal for them to leave me alone for a few days. My mum had made some pulled pork and pasta for me to heat up to eat whenever I needed to, and I had some money if I wanted to order a pizza. The first night I was alone, I stayed up until 3 in the morning playing Xbox, so I woke up really late the next day. I checked my phone when I woke up and saw it was a little past 1. I had made plans to play some street hockey with my friends at 3, so I threw myself out of bed and stumbled into the shower. I take really long showers, so when my parents are gone, I go mental. I was in there for about 45 minutes on my phone, scrolling through Reddit, Twitter, and whatnot, when I heard my back door open. The bathroom is directly up the stairs from the back door, and the back door is pretty loud when it opens and closes. I immediately froze, since obviously I was supposed to be alone. I waited for about 2 minutes, ears trained in trying to hear anything else. Nothing. I figured it was just the wind, or maybe my parents were home early. So I turned off the shower, wrapped my towel around myself, and slowly walked down the stairs to check it out. The stairs to the kitchen, where the back door is, are pretty tight and walled in, so I can't see into the kitchen when I walk down. Even though my house is old and each step on the stairs makes a super loud creak, I still took my time and tried to be as quiet as possible. I probably took 45 seconds walking down all 12 of the steps. When I got to the second from last step, right before I could see around the corner into the kitchen, I took a little breath to compose myself. In my mind, I knew I was being stupid. There obviously wasn't anything in the kitchen. There's no way. I would have heard another noise, and there's no reason for them to still be in the kitchen, even if there were burglars or something in the house. After mentally chastising myself for being such a wuss, I sort of chuckled to myself for being so stupid, and then walked the last 2 steps normally, and turned the corner into the kitchen. Standing about 2 feet away from me, in the middle of my kitchen, was a man, staring straight at me, perfectly still, with a massive smile across his face. The thing I remember most vividly wasn't his face or his smile, but his arms. They weren't just at his side, he held them in the strangest, most abnormal position I've ever seen. They were where one would normally hold their arms, but he had rotated them to the point where they were almost completely reversed, as well as lifting them up and a little behind himself. I don't know why I remember this so much, but it's just the most demonic, abnormal position I've ever seen. Honest to God, I think I almost had a heart attack right there. Looking back, I realised how absolutely creepy this situation was, but in the moment, I just took a step towards him and punched him as hard as I could in the jaw, sort of half slapping and pushing him towards the ground. The second I connected, I beelined up the stairs, dropping my towel in the kitchen with my heart beating out of control. I sprinted into my room and locked the door behind me. I quickly put a chair up against the doorknob, like you see on TV. Almost without thinking, I immediately called 911, and nearly in tears, told the operator what happened. As I sat on the floor of my room, practically in the fetal position, staring at the door, praying that a cop would be here soon, I noticed the light coming from the gap between my door had stopped. He was standing outside of my door. There's no words to describe the feeling I had. I was paralyzed with fear, watching the shadow across the bottom of the door shift in tiny ways. I stayed balled up, staring at the gap, praying the man would go away for what seemed like an hour. All the while, the 911 operator was asking,
"Hello, sir, are you there? Hello?"
I didn't want to make a noise, and even if I wanted to move my arms to bring the phone to my mouth, I don't think I could have. Eventually, the light returned to the gap, and I heard the faintest of footsteps, slowly creaking the wooden floorboards as he walked down the hall. It was silent for minutes as I just sat there curled up, unable to even speak. I heard banging on the front door and the sound of 2 officers entering my house. I finally felt safe, and I opened the door to the 2 of them standing there. I almost cried. Nowadays, my parents don't even leave me home alone anymore. Thank God. And I check every lock on the house before going to bed. I still get nightmares occasionally, and my heart starts racing whenever I see someone standing still. But I'm doing alright. Even working with sketch artists and a few lineups, the police never found whoever was in my house. That sends shivers down my spine every time I look outside, half expecting to see him standing across the street, smiling under a lamppost. I have no idea what he wanted, or who he was. Before I continue with the final story, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to see future content from me, as well as help me in the algorithm. Thank you. My husband, Ted, is in the military. We have generally lived on base at every station we have been to, because the surrounding towns can be very crime-ridden and sketchy, and with my husband gone most of the time, the extra security is appreciated. I work from home due to us moving so often, so one afternoon, I was taking a break, had made a bite to eat, and was snuggling up on the couch with my dog. That's when I heard the sliding glass door open. It was so nonchalant, I thought it was Ted. I saw my cat run from the kitchen, and a shadow standing near the door entering it. I thought maybe he had come back for something, so I called out to him, saying,
"What are you doing home? Did you forget something?"
No answer. This is when I just got an eerie feeling. After I asked what he was doing here, I saw the shadow move and heard the click of the sliding door lock. From there, he walked to the laundry room and shut the door behind him. I still had not received a response, so I was sitting on the couch, scared out of my mind, and I called my husband, hoping to hear his phone in the laundry room. I didn't hear a ring, but he answered. I asked him why he came home and didn't answer me when I called out, and all he said was,
"That wasn't me. Grab the dog and get in your car."
After getting off the phone with Ted, I grabbed the dog and ran to my car. From there, I called the military police. Waiting for them was probably the longest 20 minutes of my life. When they arrived, they cleared the house and found no one. They asked me to make a statement, and even they were baffled that someone would try this on a base. We still live there. I'm so scared it will come back. That's all the stories I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and help this channel reach 1,000 subscribers, as we are so close. And also consider watching some of my previous content. Thank you.